Hello, welcome to RC Aviation, and today we have a tiny wheat build. Skyward RC sent these parts in, so I've got to say a massive thanks, and they all came in really good packing. Right, so let's have a look at all the individual parts. Right, so first off we've got these Pulse Ultra 220mAh 48C LiPo batteries, which are one cell. These have the UMX connector on it as well. Next up we've got the Crazy Pony 5.8GHz 25mW camera and FPV transmitter combo, and it actually has a dipole antenna, not the circularly polarized antenna. Next up we've got the Furious FPV Acro V2 for Spectrum. Also we've got the 19,000 kV Furious FPV tiny wheat motors, 2 clockwise and 2 counterclockwise. And finally we've got the Lynx Spider 65 FPV Racer green shroud 0.19 pound tiny whoop frame. Right, so now I've got all the equipment, let's get started with the build video. But yeah, I'm going to talk you way through all the build parts, and then we're also going to do time lapse in parts where we're putting the motors in. Right, so let's start the build video. Right, so the first thing you're going to need is your motors, the frame and the accessories for the frame. Right, so first off let's unbox the frame. Right, so here we go with the frame. We've got the prop guards, and that's basically where everything is going to screw onto. Right, so next up let's unbox the motors. Right, so they come in really nice foam packing, and you've just got to undo the tape that goes around them. Right, so I've just got the motors out, so now I've got the frame and the motors, and that's all we need for this moment. Right, so here we go, we've got the tiny whoop frame here and a little arrow here, so that means this is forward in the way we're building it today. So you've got the clockwise motors, which are the ones with the red and blue wires on, and this goes in the top left orientation towards that arrow, and the way they just snap in is like that, and they just do snap in really easily. The other counterclockwise one goes opposite to that counterclockwise one on the bottom left, and then another clockwise one goes into the bottom right. For the next part we're going to have to open one of the accessories packages for the frame, and what we're going to want to get out is the motor support legs, which come in a separate package like that, and there you go. These parts are 3D printed. Right, so the next step, now I've got all our motors installed, is to get this little motor support part here. Instead of going all the way up, it just has this little dip here. That's holding your battery in. So you just want to get this and position it with the bit with no battery support part on the outside. And then they just clip over the motor wires like that and into their little holders like that. Right, so now you want to put each one of these on all the other motors. Right, so I'll do a time lapse. Right, so now I've done that, we've got to tape that over there and get the Furious FPV Acro V2 DSMX version. Comes with some extra wires. I like how they all come in sealed bags like that. Right, so make sure you don't cut the antenna. Right, so there we go, we've got the Acro Furious FPV all in foam. Let's just unpack it out of the bag. Be careful not to cut anything inside. Right, so there we go, we've got a USB port to configure it. We've got the Acro V2 Spectrum version. It's actually got diversity antennas as well. Right, so I just placed the FC on the top of the Acro tiny whoop. and I also took the wires around here and the antennas just down here so they don't get chopped up in the props. Right, so the next stage is to unpack the camera. Right, so here's the camera and VTX. Got another one of these sealable bags. So let's unbox it. Right, so there we go, we've got a pigtail for the power, and we've also got the FPV cam and transmitter with a little camera cap on it. Right, so let's mount this to the tiny loop. For this we're going to need to unbox the camera mount plate, and that is included in the frame accessories part. Right, so basically the camera sits in there really nicely, and then we'll just put that on there like that. Right, so I've just assembled the FPV camera part, and that was quite simple, just sliding a few parts in, and now that just sits on here, and we just have to screw these things in. I'm just going to do this off camera because it's a bit fiddly, so I'll see you in a minute when I got this screwed in. This also screws the Acro Loop V2 underneath. Right, so now we're pretty much done. We've just got to plug all of these motor wires into the correct holes. Right, so I'll do this and in a time lapse, and I'll see you then. Right, so now I've got everything attached. I just managed the cables for the motors all around the different areas so that they didn't get caught in the props. Also, I attached a pigtail here, so that goes from the VTX to the flight controller to give power to both. Right, so now we're just going to get the two rubber bands for the battery holding. They just hook on to here, and that's why we had them little things to hold. That's why we had to put the little hooks in the beginning on the inside, so you can just wrap this over like that. Then you get your little battery, and it just slides in like that. Obviously we're going to do it from the other side, and then once you got it all configured on Betaflight, you just plug it in and you're ready to fly with your goggles. Right, so there we go, it's the next day now, and I've got the camera mounted on top. Just used a bit of glue, hot glue, to keep it in place. Also, you've got this protection bit that slots into these two holes on the very sides, like that, and like that. This gives a bit of protection for the antenna so that it doesn't get knocked around. Right, so the way that you tell if this clock is counterclockwise or clockwise is by looking at this little airfoil shape here. If this part's going up and it's in that direction, like if it's on a gradient going up here, that means that it's clockwise. If it was the other way around, it would be counterclockwise. Right, so that's pretty much done for the build. If you are going to get some batteries, I'd definitely recommend you getting 2 or more batteries, because you want one charging while you're flying, because if you're waiting too long between flights, it can get a bit... You kind of want to fly before your battery's charged, and then you don't want to fly your battery before it's fully charged, because that'll damage the battery. I found that these do have a low voltage cutout, so it does gently slow down and drop to the floor once your battery is finished. Right, so that's the build finish, and I'm going to take it for a fly now, and I'll see you in the next week's video, which will be a race video and a flight video where I'll talk over how good it was and how good the performance was and how fun it was, really. Right, so that's all for today. Please subscribe if you do like this content, like the video if you did like it, and comment if you have any advice or questions, because either I or the community might be able to answer them for you. Right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.